Okay, let's have a look at the answers to these puzzles. First, let's tackle the easy one.
So we need to find checkmate for black on the next move. And the white king is surrounded. So which piece should we be thinking about? That's right, the knights. Well, this knight on f6 is too far away. So what about this knight on b4? Here are the two possible checks. But c2 is defended by the white queen, so this won't be checkmate. So let's look at moving the knight to d3. Is d3 safe for the black knight? There are lots of white pieces nearby. Yes, there are lots of white pieces nearby, but none of them can take the black knight. Game over! And the medium puzzle is also mate in one, but we have to find 3 answers. So let's crack on and have a look at the black king. Are any of these squares safe for the black king? Well, the pawn on e2 attacks f3, the rook on d5 attacks 3 more squares, and the queen defends the rook. So the black king can't move anywhere, and we need to look for safe squares to give check. And we need to look for 3 different answers. All of the highlighted pieces can give check, so let's go through each piece one by one. This pawn can give check by taking the bishop, but is it checkmate? No, it's not checkmate, because if the pawn takes the bishop, it won't be attacking f3 anymore, and so the black king can escape. So let's look at the f2 pawn. This pawn can give check by moving forwards to f3, but it's not checkmate, because black's pawn could take it. So what about this bishop? We could give check by moving the bishop to g2, but it's not checkmate, because black can block check with the f4 pawn. The g6 rook can give check by taking black's e6 pawn, but it's not checkmate, because black's d7 pawn could take it. The f7 knight can give check. Are there any black pieces that could take the knight if it moves to g5? No, the knight is safe here. This is our first answer. So let's think now about the knight on e8. It can give check by moving to f6, but it's not checkmate, because black's g7 pawn could take it. What about the white queen? How can the white queen give check? Taking the pawn on e6 doesn't work, because of black's pawn on d7. Moving the queen to e5 is safe, so this is our second answer. But taking the pawn on f4 doesn't work, because the queen wouldn't be defended here, and so black's king could take it. Which leaves us with just this rook to think about. d4 doesn't work, because of the black pawn on c5. But e5 is safe, and this is our third and final answer. But the real reason I wanted to show you this position is because there is a very amusing mate in 10 moves. Let's watch the moves now. All of black's moves are forced. Okay, back to a normal looking position now. Black to play and mate in 3. The white king is stuck in the corner, but if we muck around, moving the bishop to h3, then white can start to give checks with the queen. So we need to give check to stop that from happening. This bishop check on d5 looks like a good start. In fact, it's nearly checkmate. Can you see how white can get out of this check? There's only one move white can play. White has to block check with the f pawn. So, what next? The rook is defending the f pawn, but can you spot what other job this rook is doing? Black would like to move the queen to g1, but the white rook is defending that square too. So this white rook is doing two very important jobs, and that's too many. As you can see, the rook isn't defending g1 anymore, so black can give checkmate.